No content publishing means books that are without content. For example, the journals, diaries, notebooks, empty music sheets, these all fall under the no content books category. Let's learn how to create a no content notebook today that you can publish using KDP and make some extra cash on the side. We are going to use a tool called BookBolt to do this. Shall we begin?
So here's a sample of what could be created using these tools. This is a lined notebook journal with 120 pages, and let us look inside this book how it looks. So this is the cover, and these are all just plain ruled college books or school books. That's it, nothing much. This is what we call as the no content. Just thought of showing an example before we begin. So now head on to this designer tool offered by BookBolt. This particular link, this page offers 180 plus different types of templates that you can use for free, and all of these are like targeted towards a specific different niches like office organizers, trackers, planners, journals, notebooks, and so much more. So you can check all of them here and make use of them, but for now in this demo, in this video, we will use this college ruled, let me resize this window to see the title, college ruled notebook here. So for this I will have to either choose no bleed or bleed. So what this means exactly, I had already published one using KDP as a morning thoughts, a simple notebook using these options. We will go over all of these specifically when we upload the book into KDP. But before then, for design purposes, to put it simply, bleed and no bleed are options that goes into the way how the pages are displayed when it is printed and when the trimming happens. So for this, I had chosen 5.5 by 8.5 inches as the dimensions, and that worked out well for me in the past. So I'm going to choose the same option here. You can also choose either 6 by 9 or 8.5 by 11 if it is a long notebook, but for this purpose I'm going to stick with 5.5 by 8.5 inches. So when I cycle through the pages, you can see that the recto, which is on the right side of the book, the pages on the right that appear on the right side of the book, and the verso which appear on the left side of the book can be easily made out here, because the gap that you see here on this is the verso, because it's on the left side of the page, because on the right side we need some gap to be given, and that gap is called as the gutter. So for now I'm going to choose the bleed option and download this. I'll close out this one. So with this bleed, I want to increase the page numbers too, because usually the publishers offer, let's take these journals for example, they offer 108 pages, or in this case it's 120 pages. So if you want to compete with any similar niche, any similar notebook that's already on bestseller ranking sale in Amazon, then you want to go with more number of pages and with better quality. So in this case I want to go with, let's say, 200 pages, and I'm going to download this. So it's a bleed option, 5.5 by 8.5 and 200 pages. Let's download this, and I'm going to quickly cycle through the pages. So this gives me option to choose what page has to be on what side of the book. This with the extra left side gutter is on my are all going to be my right pages, right side page, the rectos, and this one with the extra gutter on the right side is going to be the left side page of my book, which is the verso. Okay, so this has to be downloaded to my local machine and save it. So this is now saved. The next thing is to open this up in my PDF, Adobe, or any other Foxit or any free PDF tools. You can just open that up to check how it looks, and I have got all the 200 pages of just plain notebook template. I'm going to close this off. The next step is to design a good suitable cover, and for that I'm going to use canva.com. Canva is really robust in designing anything that we want. Before getting into Canva, we want to know, because this being a paperback book, I want to ensure that the dimensions are proper. So before I start here on Canva, let us head on to Amazon KDP and then pick up their templates so that we can use that as the base for designing our paperback book cover. For that, I'm going to choose the trim size, which was 5.5 by 8.5 inches here, and the page count I had given was 200. In the paper color, I want to choose white in this case, but it's totally up to you. You can choose either cream or color, but this was simple ruled notebook, so black and white will also do. Color is not must, but if you want to choose between white and cream, it's your choice. In fact, we can publish two different books in two different modulations, one being white and the other one as a cream page. So I'm going to download this cover template, which comes out as a zip file. Opening this up, we'll have the both PDF version and the PNG version. But for now, I'm going to just open quickly this PDF version to see how it looks. Okay. So this is the paperback book cover template with 5.5 inches by 8.5 inches. The 5.5 is the width and 8.5 is the height. And this extra component in between the front and back cover is called the spine. So for this spine, this measurement is 0.45 inches, that is 11.45 millimeters. And this area in yellow, what we see, has to be left open for barcode. And that though the dimensions for the barcode is also given over here. Alright, so now how do we use this as our base for designing the book's cover? As you know, for most of the books, cover plays a major role, and especially on Amazon, when people are navigating and going through different books, cover is what that totally stands out for them to choose. So it's good to spend extra time in choosing how to design your book's cover. At the same time, I would suggest do not spend too much on it, because as long as you are close enough to the bestseller book and you are personally satisfied with the design that has turned out, then you can proceed with the uploading of the book to the KDP for actually letting the book do its own job of selling it or marketing it further with your own strategies. But for now, with this paperback book cover template, let us proceed with how to upload this to KDP and then see how to design it further. And for that, we would need this PNG. I'm going to extract this to my local from the zip file and upload that to Canva. And for that, I'm going to create a design with custom dimensions. And the width here is going to be both front and back together. And for that, let me open that up again. So we need to add both this 5.5 by 5.5 and all, including the spine width, to create the custom dimension in our Canva template. So it's going to be 5.5 plus 5.5 plus the spine width of 0.45. So that gives us 11.45 for the entire width. 11.45 in inches. So if you have them in pixels, don't forget to change it into inches. 11.45 and the height is going to be the same, 8.5 across this image. So 11.45 by 8.5. That's going to give us a plain white colored template where we can upload the this image template here and then place that on top of it to start out designing. So clicking on this would add that up here. Let me close this off, and so you could drag this and see that this exactly fits into the corners of our base template. Now is the time to add our own elements and then make sure the spine is exactly cut. If you see this dotted line over here, let me zoom in a little bit to show that. These dotted lines is what is going to be the cutting area for trimming out the covers when being printed. You see the black dotted line, that's the trim size. So they say that this is where the book will be cut to produce the final trim size. So we have to ensure nothing goes beyond this trim dotted line. And the blue dotted line at the spine fold, these are in blue in color. It's not that exactly visible, but you can zoom in to see that these are all blue in color and this is black in color. So what do they say? The blue dotted line is the spine fold, and the fold placement may vary slightly. And the white area is the live area, so that's where we can position our text, images and the logos. And the red area, so this area over here, it's actually orange but they call it red. So that's where the background artwork must fill the red area. Do not place logos, text or essential images in the red area. If your artwork does not meet these requirements, it may be rejected. So we want to ensure we don't surpass this orange, the dotted line. So what I'm going to do here is to just quickly bring out some elements to make this designing process faster. So here I'm going to intentionally go beyond the dotted line because I know that is going to be cut anyway. So for that it's okay. And okay, so this image here, I'm going to duplicate this and place one more on this side and have these colors changed, and place another one in between for the spine. That's it. So this is now ready, and now is the time to add some images and text. So I'm going to try and add flowers. So this is a very quick design. I do not have anything in mind before doing this. This is only for the demo purposes, and this is pretty girly in its design, but that's okay for now. I'm going to download this as a PDF print with high quality multi-page document. So selecting PDF print, here if you want you can choose the crop marks and bleed option, but for now I'm going to uncheck that, PDF print, and then say download. This is going to give us a good high quality PDF cover. That's now ready. Let us open this up and check it how it looks quickly. So here's the cover. You can see that there is a small white liner here. I do not want that to be displayed, so let us edit that out. That's it. I missed it out unfortunately earlier. So again, the PDF print, not the standard but print, PDF print and download. Now it looks somewhat okay. Okay, now it's time to upload these things to KDP. Okay, so here's what I have done for my previous notebook. This is how the cover looked. I decided I have designed it using Canva again and uploaded the manuscript here as a PDF, the same notebooks thing. And let me go over quickly on what details and metadata I had chosen for the for this book in KDP. Although language was not a specific thing required for this, you can choose English because that's what we are going to print on the cover. If at all you have any other language printed on the top on the cover. And book title, whatever you want to give, we can give it over here, but beware that once you give, you cannot change it once the publishing has been done. Same goes for the subtitle. Series, you can leave it. This is an optional field and definitely doesn't apply for this type of publication, which is a no content book. Edition number, it's the same, you can leave that blank. And for author, you can give your own choice of whatever name you want to give. Preferably I would choose to stick with one name. Contributors, you can leave it blank. Description, you can be a little bit more descriptive and say that what your notebook is going to be, what kind of audience, the students or any organizers or planners or office goers who wants to use your book. You can mention that under the description in a very descriptive way. And then the publishing rights, you can choose this is your own copyrighted one. And keywords, here's where BookBolt offers multiple tools within their BookBolt platform, and I had used it by going through their keywords and then choosing for the bestseller and best ranking keywords. So what did I do? I went into BookBolt and chose the bestseller ranking range to a larger extent and chose the top 1000 and the category notebook under this price range, and I searched it to see what were the top selling keywords. So that could give me some ideas for what to enter under KDP. I could just see this. These are the top selling books. This is a handwriting practice paper. So these are all different types of notebooks, but I wanted to see what ranked better. So this, you can see here that these are all the top 1000 best-selling books, and the topmost had 286 keywords, which is notebook. So notebook is a good keyword to be used, and book comes second best, and then pages. Recipe had a good keyword thing. So these are all the popular keywords that I could make use of. But again, this is available within the paid version of BookBolt. I will provide the links below for you to check it out. And there's also a trial version that you can try and see how it works for you. These are the other different tools that are available within BookBolt. But I'm not going to go over all of these in this video. We will see them in detail in another one. But for keyword checking, I just want to tell you that you can make use of BookBolt's keyword search option to find out what are the highly searched best-selling keywords that people actually use on Amazon. So with these, I can populate my keywords, the 7 keywords that's available within KDP, to update and see which is working best. You can see that the cheap notebooks, girly notebook, bullet journal, college notebook, these are all these all went well for this particular journal notebook. So I gave them after checking BookBolt. Next comes the categories. This is a little tricky over here. So I after some research, I stuck with this education in general and literary collections in general, but you can still go ahead and do your own research and find out which works best for you and then choose a suitable category. After checking out the categories option, and then this is not in adult content, so select no there. And coming to the paperback content, this is where we upload our PDF and the cover. And KDP is obviously going to provide us with a free ISBN. And then we have got this publication date. You can choose what you want. Then the print options. So this is where the options you might want to be careful while choosing, because these cannot be changed after your book has been published. For the interior and paper types, I had already spoken about this in my earlier videos about paperback publishing, where the black and white interior with cream paper goes well for most of these no content books. However, if you want to go with pure white, and if that's what you want to offer your customers, then go with the black and white interior with white paper. In fact, I would suggest you can go with that if you want to provide a simple notebook without any fancy look to it. But I wanted to go with the cream paper to appear a little bit richer when it's printed and used, because I have gone through some of the similar genre notebook reviews on Amazon which mentioned that they wanted cream paper, so I went with cream paper in this. But I'm also going to but I have also had published other no content books with white paper, and that also is doing well. So it's totally all your option, but just remember that once you choose these options, you cannot change it after it's been published. Next comes the trim size. This obviously we have chosen 5.5 by 8.5 inches earlier, and I have chosen that particular thing because that was most commonly purchased and had a good bestseller ranking on Amazon. So I chose this 5.5 by 8.5. You can still experiment with other dimensions as well, and that's totally up to your choice. And remember, again, this trim size cannot be changed once the book has been published. Next is the bleed settings. So what are bleed settings? So here when it comes to bleeding, at the time of printing, anything that goes beyond the dotted line that we had earlier seen on the template here will get cut, literally cut by the printing machines. In this case, we want to check if it is a bleed or a no bleed, depending on whatever you had downloaded from BookBolt. For my current video, this example, we had chosen bleed, so I would choose the bleed PDF only. But since for this earlier publication I had chosen a no bleed document, I had selected no bleed over here. Next setting is for the paperback cover finish. Here you want to choose either glossy or matte, depends on how you want it to be. But in this case I had chosen matte, but it's totally your choice. And again, these are options that can also be changed once you upload and even publish. So these are all changeable settings, but your trim size and interior type cannot be changed. Then this is the area where we upload the manuscript, the PDF that you had downloaded from BookBolt. You can upload it directly over here. I would also recommend adding a plain page in front of your ruled pages, so that the first page is not the direct notebooks page. You might even want to add an index to your page so that that stands out from the competition, and people will definitely notice that difference. What I mean by that is this is the page that gets uploaded to KDP, but when a person actually takes this book in hand and opens it, they don't want to see this ruled page as the first page. We definitely want to keep a plain page in front of this. So let us quickly see how to add a plain page in front of this by using Word. You can also use Google Doc to do this. So I'm going to pick a blank document and then ensure that the design layout is the size is 5.5 by 8.5, and just simply save this as a PDF. So we are now ready to include this page inside the notebook here. So how do I do that? I can simply drag that. If you have Adobe Acrobat, you can directly drag and drop it within this document to add as the front page. And not just one page, but we want to add it twice, because every page that you see is just one side of it and not the paper itself. And if what happens if I just keep one and not two of these? This becomes the first page. Let's assume this is not there, and this is the first page, and on the left side the verso becomes this, which is not what we want. So when a book is opened, this becomes the first page that's on the right side. Let us see if I can show this in a different way by having pages two up continuous. Yes. So this is the first page, and when this get turned over, this becomes the left side page, and this is then the page number 1 on the right side. Although the way it is displayed here is like both are displayed, this becomes a single sheet of paper of front and back. So I hope you got the point. Now what about if you don't have Adobe Acrobat Pro? So in that case, there is a free tool online that's available, which you can make use of for adding and merging two PDFs. That is pdf.io. You can merge it using this option. So what I'm going to do here is drag and drop both this doc and the BookBolt document. I'm also going to add one more doc of this and make this here. So this is the order I want, and merge them. That's it. It's ready now. Once we open this document, you can clearly see that the first page is empty, second is empty, and then we have got all these ruled pages. And you can also see that the gutter here on the right side, the first to right side page of the ruled page has the gutter on the left side, which is perfect, the way we want it. Alright, so this is what I'm going to upload to KDP as the manuscript, paperback manuscript. And then the cover that we had designed here as a print PDF, you can upload it to your cover file here, and then check the previewer. Once done, you can complete and go to the last section of this book setup. So I would choose all territories here, which will give you worldwide rights. Pricing and royalty is totally up to you, but definitely I would suggest use your researches on Amazon on similar titles as to what price they are selling under. So I would definitely go with the one that are selling well, and also has a good pricing point. If it is like say $4.99 or $5.99, then they're all, and if it also has a good rating, it's very hard to tap into that particular competition because we cannot go that low in terms of price, because the printing itself will take much of the cost. This could easily fetch me a royalty of almost $3.36 for every sale. That's it. Once all this is all done, you can publish your book, and thanks to BookBolt for offering these free templates. Although anybody can create their own templates, it sometimes is a pain when you want to further customize it with more details and data, metadata, and running headers. So there are a lot of planners and trackers and journals and to-do lists and many other templates that are available here that you can simply download and make use of it for your no content publishing on Amazon KDP. I hope this video gave you some insight into publishing no content books on Amazon KDP with all these free tools. Of course, if you want any extra research capabilities and price point assistance, then you can definitely look at getting the trial version or good maybe a monthly or a yearly plan for BookBolt. I hope you liked this video. If so, please let me know in the comments below, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the comments and I'll do my best in helping out with that.
You could publish many such no content books, but if you're just starting out, I would recommend publishing one book first to learn this process and then proceed with more. Thanks for watching. I'll see you again in another video. Until then, you please take care. Bye.
Take two.
Shall we begin? When publishing, I would recommend.
No, yes. Is the lighting okay? Right? Is it no content or no content? Content is to be happy. Content is subject matter. But it's no content or stuff inside, right? Well, it looks like the audio is not coming. Yeah, but BookBolt was helpful in doing this.